Motorcyclist hospitalized with serious injuries after colliding with utility pole on Essequibo coast. The Guyana police force is investigating a serious incident that occurred at approximately 01:15 HRS today on the land of Plenty Public Road, Essequibo coast. The incident involved a motorcycle, CP-115, owned and driven by Mark Kendall Simon, a 32-year-old laborer from Cottonfield, Essequibo coast. Preliminary inquiries revealed that Simon was traveling north on the land of Plenty Public Road at a high speed when he lost control of the motorcycle and collided with a utility pole belonging to the Guyana Power and Light, GPL, located on the western side of the road. As a result of the collision, Simon fell onto the roadway and sustained significant injuries. He was found in an unconscious state by anti-crime patrol ranks and was immediately transported to the Suddy Public Hospital for medical attention. Upon examination by the doctor on duty, Simon was treated for head injuries, a fractured rib, and a fractured hip. He has since been admitted as a patient at the hospital. The motorcycle has been taken to the Anna Regina police station, where it will be examined by a licensing and certifying officer as part of the ongoing investigation. The police urge all motorcyclists to adhere to traffic regulations and prioritize safety to prevent such incidents. Police investigate fatal motorcycle accident in Houston. The Guyana police force is currently investigating a fatal accident that occurred today at approximately 14:15 HRS on the Houston Public Road, near Rahman's Park. The incident involved a motorcycle, identified as #CH8290, owned and driven by Brian Paul McKenzie, a 55-year-old resident of Corriverton, Burbus. Preliminary investigations indicate that the motorcycle was traveling west on the southern carriageway of the Houston Public Road at a high speed. At the time of the accident, McKenzie was not wearing a safety helmet. As he approached Rahman's turn, he attempted to negotiate a left turn while maintaining his speed. Unfortunately, he lost control of the motorcycle, resulting in a collision with a metal guardrail that separates the eastern and western carriageways. The impact of the collision caused McKenzie to be flung into a lamppost before landing on the road surface, sustaining severe injuries to his head and body. Emergency services were summoned, and upon arrival, emergency medical technicians pronounced him dead at the scene. The body of Brian Paul McKenzie is currently at the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Further investigations into the circumstances surrounding the accident are ongoing. The police urge all motorcyclists to prioritize safety by wearing helmets and adhering to traffic regulations to prevent such tragic incidents. Over 60 contractors ordered to pay liquidated damages for delayed works, Edghill. In a decisive move to enforce accountability within the construction sector, the government has ordered over 60 defaulting contractors to pay liquidated damages to the Ministry of Public Works. This action is part of a broader initiative to address delays and subpar performance in public infrastructure projects, which have faced mounting frustrations due to missed deadlines and poor quality work. Public Works Minister Juan Edghill confirmed that the contractors in question have been involved in various public infrastructure projects, including roadworks and building constructions, which have been stalled due to their failure to meet contractual obligations. Liquidated damages are provisions that allow for the payment of a specified sum in the case of a breach of contract, calculated as a percentage of the contract value, ranging from 0.1% to 10%. Minister Edghill stated, more than 60 contractors have to pay liquidated damages, noting that this number is out of approximately 5,000 contractors engaged by the government for various works. He emphasized that non-performing contractors represent less than 1% of the total. The minister acknowledged several challenges impacting the construction sector, such as a limited workforce, shipping delays, and logistic and supply chain shortages, which are considered before imposing strict measures. However, he indicated that the ministry has had to communicate with the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, NPTAB, to blacklist delinquent contractors in some cases. The ministry doesn't blacklist contractors. It's the NPTAB or the procurement commissions that have that authority. When we encounter poor performance, we notify those entities so they can take appropriate action, Edghill explained. Approximately 2,500 individuals to obtain certificates of title this month. Approximately 2,500 individuals are set to acquire their certificates of title this month, granting them legal ownership of their lands. Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, made the announcement during the ministry's year-end press conference on Friday, reaffirming the government's commitment to facilitating homeownership for all Guyanese. To date, we have processed over 14,710 certificates of title. Close to 2,500 certificates are currently at the land registry, awaiting final approval. These titles will be available for distribution this month, Minister Kroll stated. The processing of titles will also benefit individuals who are allocated plots of land in 2 areas within Region 3. Legal land ownership enables citizens to secure loans from local banks for expansion projects or to start businesses. In 2024, the ministry processed more than 7,118 titles, reflecting a 13% increase compared to 2023. Minister Kroll emphasized that the ministry has collaborated closely with its legal department and several key agencies to facilitate the legal transfer of these titles. These agencies include the Guyana Sugar Corporation, GuySuCo, National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited, NISL, Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, GLSC, and Mahayakoni Aberi, MMA. Minister Kroll highlighted the significant progress made under the current administration, noting that the previous government processed 7,730 titles over a 5-year period from 2015 to 2020. In contrast, the PPP/C administration distributed over 7,118 land titles in just 2024 alone. Government to regularize several informal settlements in 2025. The government of Guyana has announced plans to regularize several informal settlements this year, aiming to provide legal ownership of land to residents. This initiative was detailed during the Ministry of Housing and Water's year-end press conference held on Friday by Minister Colin Kroll. Minister Kroll outlined that the regularization process will benefit multiple regions across the country. Key areas set for regularization include Region 2, 35 lots at Lima Sands Housing Scheme and 60 lots at Walton Hall. Region 3, 59 lots at Plantation Best Reserve. Region 4, 43 lots at Success, 209 lots at Mocha Arcadia, and a minimum of 700 occupants throughout the region. Other locations include Vigilance South and North, Coldingham North, De Endragt south of the railway embankment, and several areas in Enmore and Enterprise. Region 6, 57 lots at Belvedere North and Hampshire. Region 10, 77 lots in Atuni, 30 lots at New Harden, 154 lots at Kamaka, and various other sites including Silver Hill, West Watuka, and different blocks in Vismar. In 2024, the government allocated 583 informal lots and regularized 6 squatting areas. Over the past 3.5 years, 17 areas have been regularized, resulting in a total of 1,571 housing lots. Minister Kroll emphasized the importance of this initiative for the communities involved, stating that it aims to improve living standards and access to basic necessities. This process will not only provide legal ownership but also help enhance the quality of life for many families, he noted. Among the areas under consideration for future regularization are Greenwich Park, De Kinderen Parcel 1, and several locations along the railway embankment. Residents from Plantation de Willem, Plantation Barnwell, Plantation Philadelphia, and Plantation de Endragt have already benefited from prior regularization efforts, leading to the relocation of approximately 430 families to improve their living conditions. President Ali reaffirms commitment to Region 10's development. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has reaffirmed the government's commitment to the development of Region 10, announcing substantial investments aimed at integrating the region into Guyana's path to prosperity. The president made this announcement during an impromptu meeting with residents in Victory Valley, Linden, on Sunday. We are going to work on regularizing and giving another 1,000 titles to persons living here. We will also identify land to meet the demand, President Ali stated, emphasizing the government's focus on the housing sector. In the first half of 2025, approximately 800 lots will be regularized in priority areas, including Ituni and Amelia's Ward. The president presented key statistics highlighting the massive investments made in the region, particularly in housing and public works. From 2020 to now, we have invested more than $5.8 billion in Linden alone to provide housing and house lots, over 600% more than the previous government invested during their 5 years in office, he noted. In 2024, the government allocated $7.6 billion under the Miscellaneous Roads Program to construct 535 roads in Region 10, with nearly all projects awarded to local contractors. This is a demonstration of love, the president remarked. Since 2020, a total of $96 billion has been spent to enhance the region's infrastructure, including the Linden to Mabura Road Network and the Soesdijk to Linden Highway. This amount far exceeds the investments made by the previous administration, he emphasized, comparing it to the less than 0.3% of what the prior government spent on public works. Plans are also underway to reassess the Victory Valley community for areas suitable for land ownership, as well as the construction of a boxing gym, community center, and basketball court to foster community ties and create local job opportunities. President Ali highlighted that these investments aim to stimulate sustainable development while building a foundation of trust with the community. He also emphasized his government's inclusive approach to leadership and appealed to Lindeners for their continued support. "You have never given us the political responsibility here in Linden and Region 10. We seek your support to win here and demonstrate what good, committed, selfless leadership can bring to your region," he stated. The president was accompanied by several ministers, including Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, Minister of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edghill, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Todd, and Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramsden Jr. Children's use of electric cycles sparks safety concerns, police. Guyana Times. The increasing trend of children riding electric cycles on public roads has raised significant safety concerns for the Guyana Police Force, GPF. This issue was highlighted during the GPF's recent traffic update program, particularly worrying as school closures have led to more children using these vehicles. Traffic Chief, Senior Superintendent Mahendra Singh, condemned the irresponsible behavior of parents who allow minors to operate electric cycles. "You see children under 16 riding without helmets and without care. This is a clear violation of the law, which requires these vehicles to be registered and operated by licensed individuals," he stated. Assistant Superintendent of Police, Ron Clark, emphasized the risks posed by electric cycles, noting their speed and the inexperience of young riders. "These cycles travel at reasonable speeds, but children often lack the control and road safety knowledge required. This endangers not only themselves but also other road users. Children should only ride these cycles in gated areas," Clark advised, urging parents to ensure their children practice in safe, enclosed spaces rather than on public roads. Inspector Michael Ramdas of Regional Division 4B, East Bank Demerara, EBD, revealed that electric cycles were involved in at least 4 fatal accidents in 2024, with riders found at fault in each case. "We need to address this issue through education and practical training to prevent further tragedies," he emphasized. Looking ahead, the traffic chief outlined plans for stricter enforcement, including collaboration with stakeholders to address offenses involving minors. "While we focus on sensitization, we will also hold owners accountable for allowing their children to use these cycles unlawfully," he added. As schools prepare to reopen, the police appealed to parents to prioritize safety and discourage the misuse of electric cycles, reiterating that road safety is a shared responsibility. In 2023, amendments to the motor vehicles and road traffic laws were enacted to regulate the use of electric bikes. The new regulatory framework aims to address the rising number of road fatalities and incidents involving electric bikes. This bill was passed in the National Assembly in April 2023 and defines electric cycles as motorcycles with electric motors and effective braking systems, mandating that they adhere to the same registration and usage rules as conventional motorcycles. These bikes, which cost between $70,000 and $150,000 and have speeds below 50 km per hour, have gained popularity due to their affordability and ease of use. Deadly GDF helicopter crash. 5 days remaining for stakeholder feedback on black box findings before public release. Guyana Times. Stakeholders involved in the investigation of the tragic Guyana Defense Force, GDF, helicopter crash have just 5 days left to submit their comments on the findings from the aircraft's black box. The crash, which occurred on December 6, 2023, resulted in the loss of 5 servicemen, Brigadier RETD Gary Beaton, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Shahoud, Lieutenant Colonel Mike Charles, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Welcome, and Warrant Officer Class 2 Jason Kahn. The finalized report aims to identify the cause of the crash and recommend measures to prevent similar incidents in the future. Public Works Minister Juan Edghill highlighted the importance of stakeholder feedback during the ministry's end-of-year press conference on Saturday. "I made a public announcement that in keeping with the regulations, the draft report was sent to all stakeholders for comments. They have until January 10, 2025, to submit their feedback. If there are any serious concerns that need to be addressed, those adjustments will be made before the report is published in accordance with ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, regulations," Minister Edghill stated. The black box, which records cockpit voices and flight parameters, was analyzed with assistance from the United States National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB. The NTSB expedited the data retrieval process, prioritizing this case to ensure progress in the investigation. Minister Edghill expressed gratitude for their cooperation, emphasizing the investigation's significance in honoring the lives lost. On the day of the crash, the Bell 412 helicopter, registered as 8RAYA, departed from GDF's headquarters at Camp Guyana at 09:24H, traveling 144 miles to Olive Creek, where it arrived at 10:27H. After refueling, it departed for Arau, Region 7, Cuyuni Mazaruni. Contact was lost with the aircraft at approximately 11:19H, prompting an emergency locator transmitter, ELT, alert. The GDF indicated that the helicopter was on a command trip as part of a response to an imminent threat to our territory. The Bell 412 EPI helicopter was equipped with safety systems designed to warn the pilot of obstacles, but only the black box has the potential to provide insights into the aircraft's capabilities during the flight. Lieutenant Crawford and Corporal Jackson were extracted from the crash site 2 days later after multiple attempts were hampered by adverse weather conditions in the mountainous Region 7. The draft report, prepared by lead investigator Krishnanand Ramlakana of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA, incorporates findings from the NTSB and Bell helicopters. The helicopter suffered significant damage, particularly to the fuselage. 1 million passengers transited through ports of entry in 2024, surpassing President Ali's initial target for 2025. In a significant achievement for the nation, Guyana recorded over 1 million international passengers transiting through its ports in 2024, surpassing the initial target set by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali for 2025. This milestone reflects the country's robust economic development and its growing reputation as a unique destination rich in culture and tourism opportunities. Chief Executive Officer of the Chetty Jugan International Airport, CJIA, Ramesh Gur, announced this achievement during a year-end press briefing on Saturday. By the end of 2024, a total of 1,072,785 passengers were processed across 4 key ports of entry: CJIA, Eugene Correa International Airport, Edghill, Ledhem Border Crossing, and Mulsun Creek Crossing. This figure marks an increase of 142,785 passengers compared to the 930,000 processed in 2023, representing a 15% growth. Gur commented, "A few years ago, President Irfan Ali predicted that we would process 1 million passengers by 2025. We actually achieved that target in 2024. At CJIA alone, 826,000 passengers were processed, reflecting a 17% increase from the previous year. Other ports also saw increased activity: 72,000 passengers at Edghill, 14,000 at Mulsun Creek, and 28,000 at Ledhem. Additionally, the international airport recorded a 17% increase in international landings, largely due to the growing number of airlines choosing Guyana as a destination. As a result, total seating capacity rose from 1,244,178 in 2023 to 1,491,909 in 2024, a 20% increase that enhances affordability and options for travelers. Additional aircraft seating means more choices for passengers and helps to lower ticket costs. That's why it's important to have additional seats," Gur explained. CJIA continues to play a vital role in driving national economic growth, with ongoing efforts to modernize operations and improve the overall passenger experience.